Here we have the Sociology of Religion Reader, second edition, edited by Monahan et al. If we turn to page 125, we see an article by Smith and Faris called Socioeconomic Inequality in the American Religious System, an update and assessment. It is an article that reflects for us the relationships between social class and religion. And what we find in this article are that we can look at the social class of the members of various denominations in the United States to see that there are in fact differences. First, we have to decide how we're going to reflect social class. Smith and Faris reflect it for us by using educational level. They look at the percentage with college degrees. They look at the mean adult education by denomination, and we find that in fact by educational level we have some groups that have quite a lot of education. Some groups have over 50% of their members with college degrees. That's the case for Unitarians and Jews. But if we go down the list here, we see that some groups have less than 20% of their members attaining college degrees. We start looking right here: Black Baptist, Southern Baptist, non-denominational, conservative Protestants, etc. Another reflection of social class comes from this table on mean household income by denomination, taken at two time periods, 1983 to 1984 and at 1996. We see that Jewish and Unitarian denominations remain at the top of this list if we look at their members' mean household incomes. For the last time period in which it was checked, we can see that Jewish and Unitarian average household incomes are in fact quite high, at $50,000, and much higher than many of the others in their group. This is a ranking by the highest to the lowest. My question for you is that if we look at this chart, can we see which members of which denominations have in fact experienced an increase or an elevation in their social class positions, and which groups, which denominations have become perhaps denominations of the lower social classes? We need only to look to the third entry in this table, LDS, which is a Mormon denomination, the largest. We see that they have experienced a significant increase in their mean income over the two time frames in which the data was collected. They have jumped up 6 places in the rankings of denominations by mean household income, and one could argue that the social class position of members of LDS is relatively higher than it used to be. Other groups that are in that category, we can look just at the change in mean incomes if we want to see relative increases. We see that the non-denominational conservative Protestants fall into a category of groups that have elevated their social class position, as have Missouri, Wisconsin Lutherans and Assembly of God. In contrast, we can look at another group of Lutherans, ELCA, Evangelical Lutheran Church of America, and we can see that within this denomination, the average household income has declined significantly, and the relative ranking has declined as well. So here is an example of a denomination in which the social class position on average overall within its membership has declined. So we see some social mobility upward for some groups, where we see the plus 6, plus 5, plus 9, and we see some social mobility in the decline, particularly for the ELCA group, and perhaps the Conservative Methodist group is another example of a more dramatic decline. So mean household income can be used to reflect the social class differences within religion in our society. Just for comparison's sake, we can also use mean occupational prestige and other indicators of social class. So there are many opportunities in this article. The point that Smith and Faris make for us is that they feel that the social class differences by denomination remain strong and stable within the United States. Not all sociologists interpret this data in the same way. They don't see the distinctions as strongly as Smith and Faris do.